What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys another video. This is from Forbes, and of course, the ATF director once again. Um, this one's really funny. So, Kevin Kyle quizzes the ATF director on the Second Amendment and the other amendments, and it's quite funny actually. We'll just get into it.
I'd like to take a moment to ask a few questions of the witness. Director Tettelbach, thank you for your testimony today. Do you believe that the Second Amendment is an important right?
I believe all the constitutional rights that we have are important.
So you're not one of those people who says we'd be better off without it?
I'm one of those people who says what the law says, what the Constitution says is what we should do and what we have to honor.
I understand that, and I'm glad to hear you say that. But as sort of a matter of what's best for society, do you think it's important that our Constitution does have a Second Amendment?
I think that all the amendments are important. It's very hard to start comparing the right to freedom of religion versus the right they're all important.
If they're all important, why is he continuously doing what Biden and the other Democrats want him to do? This dude, he's just gonna say whatever it is, so that he can just get through it. Like this, man, he should just be straight up honest and be like, "Hey, look, this is what's going on." Yada yada yada. Just be honest, man. Like everyone knows you full of shit.
Okay, so why do you think the Second Amendment is important?
Why do I?
Why is it important that we have a Second Amendment?
Well, at the most basic notion, because I'm an American, because I follow the Constitution and the founders,
Sure,
when
but I'm
they
asking
enacted
about
the Bill
this.
of Rights.
Why is it important, the Second Amendment, that particular right? Why is it important?
It's part of our founding document. It's in the Constitution of the United States, along with all these other rights that are very.
So you're
important.
glad it's there, the Second Amendment.
Sorry?
You're glad it's there. You're glad it's part of our Constitution.
It's part of being an American is that Constitution, when we take an oath in public service, unlike any other country, right? We take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States. That's what we swear to do. So that's an important oath, and that's a very important document.
And I'm glad you hear you say that. We have had amendments that have been repealed. You're not someone who says it'd be better if we just repealed the Second Amendment, right?
I have never participated in anything like that. And again,
But your
it is
opinion,
my job.
Opinion,
It is my job.
That'd be a good or bad thing.
It is my job as ATF director to honor the constitutional rights and legal statutes passed by Congress, and I do.
And I'm very glad to hear you say that. But as an American, do you think that'd be a good or bad thing if the amendment was
Again, I don't think as director of ATF,
all of a sudden the plane going overhead.
Which laws are more or less important is the right thing to do. But something in the Constitution is, of course, very important.
Something in the Constitution is very important.
Huh? Believe it's good that we have a Second Amendment.
I don't want to. I don't think it's appropriate to give my personal opinion on any of the particular.
See that? See that? He literally just said he cannot give his personal opinion. But yet, not that long ago, he was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm very happy that we have the Second Amendment. Oh yeah, all the amendments are important. I mean, because I'm an American." This dude is just talking out his ass, and it just happens to be his mouth.
Amendments, they're in the Constitution.
All right.
They are the highest law of the land.
So you also testified in your written testimony that we have more than 100 people who died from firearms violence across the country every day, and you say that most of these tragedies never make the news. Are you aware of and I think we can all agree that this is, an unspeakable tragedy for every family. Are you aware of a study from 2017 by the University of Chicago that showed that the average murder or shooting suspect had approximately 12 prior arrests in their criminal record?
Oh shit!
I'm not aware of that particular study.
That sounds like a DA problem.
That particular study, no, sir.
Does it sound wrong to you, or does it sound plausible?
I think, as I said before, there's this many people who do crimes, and then trigger pullers are a much smaller.
You see that?
And they tend to repeat crimes. And identifying those for state and local law enforcement is very important.
Absolutely.
We can focus our resources on the.
I love how he calls them trigger pullers.
And the D.C. police chief has said that it's on average 11 prior arrests for homicide suspects in this jurisdiction. This is Robert Conti, chief of police in
11.
D.C. He said that what we've got to do, if we really want to see homicides go down, is keep bad guys with guns in jail. When they're in jail, they can't be in communities shooting people. Do you agree with that statement?
We work very closely with DC Police when their lab was decertified.
Okay, I'm not asking who you work with and who you don't. I'm asking, do you agree with that statement from the chief of police? When they're in jail, they can't be in communities shooting people.
Exactly.
Dangerous people who commit violent crimes should be incarcerated.
All right, thank you. We've heard a lot
This
of
dude's so
statements from
ridiculous.
the other side of the dais today, sort of in very high tones, speaking about the lack of efforts to deal with gun violence and a lot of very partisan attacks. But as you might be aware, Congress recently actually acted to prevent violent crime in Washington, D.C. by repealing a measure that would have lowered penalties for crime across the board that the District of Columbia had enacted. Now, that measure was signed into law by President Biden.
Yep.
As you may know, 81 members of the U.S. Senate voted for it, 81 to 14, and yet every single person on the other side today who has spoken up saying that we need to do more about gun violence voted against that measure. Does that strike you as
Damn. Hypocritical, right?
hypocritical, Director?
Sitting here today, there are obviously very passionate views on all sides as I sit in the middle.
Oh my god.
And it's not my role to.
That's a simple yes. Yes, it is hypocritical that the 14 on that side who voted against it are now saying, "Oh, hey, look at the crime. We need to do something." They should have did something back then. It should have been unanimous votes across the board. But no, those 14 who voted against it should be the 14 who are removed.
Engage in that kind of role. I run a law enforcement agency, and the decisions that Congress makes on policy are things that we then take and try to implement.
But your testimony talked at great length about gun violence, and you've just recognized that much of it stems from repeat offenders. So isn't it a good thing that we managed to at least make it so we don't have as many repeat offenders in this district?
Again, I don't run law enforcement in the district. They're partners of ours. We work closely with them. And I'm not a policymaker. I'm not a member of this body. I leave it to members of these bodies to make those policy decisions. Then we take the results and try to protect people with them.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Ms. Bish is recognized for 5 minutes.
Right. Well, I call BS on that, but, whatever, right? So, hey, go figure. It's getting interesting with the ATF, the director, and how he is just flip-floppy. He's up and down. He's everywhere when it comes to his statements and how he feels about certain things. But anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Catch me for next one. Later.